Good morning, everybody. Cross country just finished our fall season with the SEC championships, which were this past Friday at LSU. Our men's team finished second place. Our women's team finished third place. So, on the whole, I think anytime you have both teams in the top three in the SEC, that's not something that you are ashamed of. Obviously finishing top three in a Power Five conference obviously is a nice result, but I think here, obviously we always strive to finish a little bit better than that, whether it's winning the conference or being top two. Those are typically our goals every season. So, I think we maybe fell a little bit short of what we could have done as a program this season, but certainly nothing that we're ashamed of by any means. On the men's side, we went 1, 2, 3 individually, which, to be honest, you don't see that happen very often in cross country at a conference meet, especially in a good conference. So, we were definitely really happy about that, and having an individual SEC champion in Mario Garcia Romo. Again, that's something that we certainly celebrate at a high level. On the other hand, it's disappointing to go 1, 2, 3 and not win the meet as a team, and frankly, to not be close to winning the meet as a team. So I feel like, we didn't do enough to be competitive as a team. And so that's a bit of a disappointment. Credit to Arkansas, especially their men's team. This is probably the best men's team they've ever had, at least since I've been coaching in the conference the last 8 years. I'd say it's certainly the best team they've had during that period of time. So, they're a tough competitor. They're really good. They're really deep. We gave it our best shot, but we just weren't good enough to beat them on the day. And so, that is what it is. Obviously, on the women's side, we finished third. Again, Arkansas won the women's team battle. Alabama, who's had a nice season, who didn't race very often this season, but had a great team. They were a close second, and then we were third. Obviously we're a little bit disappointed to be a spot lower than we were last year. I think it's funny, if you look at the meet results last year, we scored 93 points and we're second, and we felt really good about that performance. And, this year we basically scored the same with 98, but we're third and a little bit disappointed. So, the conference was much better, much more competitive this year than last. I think we have a better team than we did last year, but just a couple things didn't quite come together for us on the season, and we never really quite had a full team performance that I thought we were capable of on the women's side. So, from this point forward, the NCAA is supposed to be hosting a cross-country championship in March. So, we're hoping to be selected for that at an at-large basis. It gives us some time to get healthy on the women's side, get a couple people back that we didn't have this fall semester, to be a little bit more prepared to put down a really good team performance in March. And on the men's side, it gives us some time to shore up our depth a bit, get some of our guys that, again, were either working through injury issues or just on a bit limited training, have some time to get those guys back and at 100%, and hopefully, be able to put two teams on the starting line in March that are strong, ready to go, and able to put out a performance that we can be happy with and proud of. So pretty much it for me. And anybody have any questions?
Hey, Ryan, just curious, when you have a sport that is both extremely team-oriented but also extremely individual performance-wise, how do you evaluate something like happened with the men, where you have three guys who finish top three in the league, but the team performance doesn't match up with that?
That's a great question. Yeah, I think maybe like some other sports, you might have somebody in a key position that plays really well, but you lose the game. I think you can be very proud of how certain people performed, but still disappointed in the team result that you get on paper. And credit to our top three guys. I mean, obviously going 1, 2, 3, they were really happy with that, but they were not speaking negatively about the other members of the team. They weren't disappointed in the other guys' performance. I just think they handled it really well. I think they were very mature about it. Obviously they were happy how they performed individually, but they didn't take it out on the other guys. They were supportive, and I think I was probably the most disappointed just from a team perspective, knowing that it was a bit of a missed opportunity. It's really hard to win a conference championship, but when you go 1, 2, 3 and don't win, it's, obviously a disappointment. But Yeah, I think you just try to manage both sides of it. Obviously, you're happy for the guys that ran well, but you try to really understand why the performers that we needed to step up to secure the title and guys that weren't able to do that, you try to talk to them to figure out why that was. But maybe not getting too bogged down on either side of that. You can be happy for the individuals, but also disappointed that the team didn't get it done.